What is going on at Global News? Their janky-ass mic stand and their mic looks like it's been thrown in the lake 600 times and picked back up and reused. Pretty battered. What's going on over there? Are they going bankrupt? Anybody know? I had to enhance the audio for the questions just so you could hear them. Melissa actually destroys Trudeau with this, as well as some of the reporters. And now you can finally hear the questions.
Housing prices have doubled. The cost of rent has doubled. The cost of a mortgage payment has doubled in this country. It used to take 25 years to pay off a mortgage, and now it takes 25 years in the city to save for a down payment. And in a frantic slew of announcements over the last week, Justin Trudeau is doubling down on rebranded, recycled policies that simply are not getting houses built. We saw also from the CMHC that Prime Minister's own housing authority say that housing starts will be lower this year than they were last year, then they will be lower in 2026 than they were in 2021, and that affordability will be out of reach and that rents will continue to go up. We have a crisis in this country, and a bunch of recycled, rebranded announcements aren't going to fix the problem that Justin Trudeau created. Housing prices have doubled, and we see more of the same. Expensive photo ops from the Prime Minister, and a slew of announcements that are exactly the same that got us into this mess. I'm happy to take a question from
Uday on Global News. Do the Conservatives agree that more diverse housing solutions like vortexes or building central density in residential neighborhoods is a solution to this housing crisis?
Look, Conservatives have a plan that we are going to tie federal funding to municipalities, increasing their approvals by 15%. Those who do it will get a bonus, a building bonus. Those who do not will get fined. And however they do, whatever housing units that they put forward, we just want to see houses built. And we've got a plan to actually build in terms of results, in terms of actual places that people can live in. So we're fine with municipalities and provinces making decisions about the kinds of housing for their own communities. We just want to see more approvals and less gatekeepers in the way.
Hi, Noah Jarvis from North. The Jewish community in Canada for years have been calling for the moving of Canada's embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. I believe that you've been unequivocal about that in the past. So under a Conservative government, under a Pierre Poilievre government, would you guys commit to moving Canada's embassy in Israel to Jerusalem?
Look, I would say that the Jewish community today has a big problem in this country with anti-Semitism, with violence in their streets, with violence in the neighborhoods. Our country has a long-standing position when it comes to our relationship with our friend and ally. And we want to see that violence, certainly in the region, stop. We want to see the hostages returned. We want to make sure that the priority is Canadians to feel safe in their own neighborhoods, and we will continue advocating the position of moral clarity that we have always had on this. I think the Prime Minister is the one who has a different position every day and who is making this community feel unsafe, and he is making our streets more dangerous than they were.
Would the Conservative Party welcome Anthony Hausfeather? Has anybody spoken to him?
Well, look, I think that that decision lies with Anthony Hausfeather in terms of what he wants to do. But I think he's been very clear that he doesn't feel like there is a place for him in his party. We saw the motion. Debated in the House. That he had voted against, that he wasn't even told about, that has inflamed the situation in this country, handing a victory to Hamas, not calling for the release of hostages. I think that's a decision for Anthony Hausfeather, and certainly I think he would find a more welcoming position of the long-standing Conservative position on this issue and many others that he seems to be voting against his Prime Minister.
Yesterday, the United States demanded Israel take specific actions to address the humanitarian catastrophe and the safety of camps workers in exchange for American support. What is your position on that? Can Canada make the same demand?
Look, Canada has a long-standing position that I think has been thrown out the window by this government, and depending on what day you ask the government what their position is, it changes. Our position is clear, that we want to see the violence stop, that we want to see Hamas surrender, drop their weapons, and return the hostages, that we want to see a negotiated two-state solution that is negotiated by the two parties. That was always the consensus position in Canada. That is not the consensus position of Justin Trudeau and his government, who are inflaming the situations by bringing motions to the House of Commons. We will continue to have our long-standing Canadian position, one that is very clear and one that Justin Trudeau simply can't make a decision on.
Stephanie Hughes, Bloomberg News. Given your stance on gatekeeping and stopping gatekeeping from developing housing, I was curious about your thoughts around Doug Ford's to not allow home prices in single-family residential areas. Is that gatekeeping in your view?
Well, look, we've seen the price of a home double. We've seen the price of rents double. We've seen the price of a mortgage payment double, and we need solutions that are actually going to get housing built. The Housing Accelerator Fund that the government has put forward hasn't built a single home. They've said so themselves. The CMHC says affordability is getting worse and not better. We want to see housing actually being built, so that's why Conservatives have put forward a plan that is going to encourage and frankly reward municipalities that get at least 15% more housing built and penalize the ones that don't. How they do it is simply up to them. We want those gatekeepers out of the way, and we want houses built so the Canadians can have homes that they can afford.
Does our mainstream media think that hiding the questions is going to make them look any better? What do you think of that? And why did they start doing this? Are they just tired of seeing clips of them getting destroyed on YouTube? I mean, they still get destroyed regardless. We all know that they're asking dumb questions. You've been served.